Hey everyone, Blaze here, welcome back to another anime pickarts video. Today we're going to be doing the first half of February 2017. I spoiled myself rotten in February. I mean, I've been selling stuff recently. I've actually been selling off the one last thing I own of value that isn't anime related, pretty much. There's my Japanese Sega Saturn collection. I've been selling some of that off and that's funded some of this stuff. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So, back in 2014, Discotek, which is what we're going to concentrate on first, and some Discotek stuff. So yeah, back in 2014, Discotek announced a upcoming Blu Ray release of Magic Knight Rayearth, and here we are in 2017, 3 years later, give or take, from when they announced it, and yeah, we finally have it in our hands, and boy oh boy was it worth the wait. This is a fantastic release. Blu-ray transfer looks stunning from the Japanese Blu-ray box. And yeah, all of the good extras or pretty much all the extras that were on the original Media Blasters release, which is where this first came out on DVD from Media Blasters, and that's where the dub is from. Which is, yeah, this is all dubbed, and it's all 2 seasons, 49 episodes, I think. Yeah, 49 episodes on 6 discs, both seasons. So yeah, Magic Knight Rayearth, what's it about? It's about these 3 girls here who end up becoming magic knights in a person in a strange world type scenario. So yeah, they're all on like a school trip. They visit Tokyo Tower, and all of a sudden this goddess from this other parallel world, dimension, whatever, basically summons the magic knights, and it just so happens to be these 3 young schoolgirls who I don't believe knew each other, at least they weren't friends necessarily, while on their school trip. And yeah, they get transferred into this strange world. They become these magic knights. And what's kind of cool about the series, I haven't actually watched it beyond like the first episode, but what I know of this series, which is kind of what makes it interesting, is that it's magical girl, fantasy, person in a strange world, mecha, like, it's all in here, which is pretty cool. Like, it's a big, huge mishmash of genres, and it all comes together really well to create one of the classic 90s anime series. So yeah, really happy that this one has come out on Blu-ray. It looks really nice, and it's in this nice compact set. They didn't do anything deluxe. Discotek don't tend to do that in terms of packaging, but hey, what you get on the discs is really good, because yeah, like I said earlier, this has like pretty much all the extras. Yeah, so you got the dubbed, you got the obviously remastered in HD, all next episode previews, bumpers, recaps, marquee endings, English pilot, opening endings collection, trailers and promotional spots, interviews with the English cast and crew, English outtakes, and greetings, production art galleries, storyboards, Makona song, and a commentary for episode 49 by the English dub director. So yeah, just about everything is on here, and you also get different artwork underneath the slip. Just nice. And yeah, 6 discs, each one representing, well, they're like doubled, so yeah, you got the red head, so you got red hair, blue hair, blonde hair, but obviously the suits are green, blue and red, and that's what's represented here across the 6 discs. So yeah, really happy about this one. I hope to watch this one relatively soon. Haven't quite got around to it yet, but yeah, like I said, I watched episode 1 and it gripped me. I do like this sort of person in strange world stuff, especially from this era of animation, so yeah. But unfortunately, one thing I did ask Discotek when they were lining up to get that, you know, towards the end of that finally coming out, was is the sequel OVA series going to be included? And they came out and said, no, we'd like to get our hands on it, but as of right now we don't. And we have no plans to release it as a result of that. And yeah, that was unfortunate, but there is an English release out for it already. Blu-ray, obviously, it's only on DVD, but it does fulfill another tick in the box against the Manga Collection, so I picked up the Manga Entertainment release of Rayearth. I don't know if the reason why Discotek can't get this is because somehow, some way, Manga still own the license. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, I haven't read any... I haven't read anything into this, because like I said, this is a sequel OVA. It's like 3 episodes, I think, or so. I don't know how long each. We got the running time. I can read that. 135 minutes. So yeah, running time pretty substantial. But I guess these are about 40 minutes each, or so. So yeah, Magic Knight Rayearth. And this is the OVA. Like I said, don't know anything about it because I haven't seen the TV series yet, but I just wanted to make sure to have that, so once I'm done with the TV series I can just go straight to this, although the fact it's on DVD and an old DVD is that means it will be quite a change from obviously the glorious Blu-ray. Anyway, moving on. I tried to do that quickly and we're 5 minutes in. I fail at everything. Okay, so getting into something that Discotek have been just wowing me over and over again with recently, and that is of course Leiji Matsumoto stuff, Leijiverse stuff. So a little while ago, a couple of years ago, I picked up the Hong Kong Blu-ray release because it had English subtitles of Galaxy Railways, the OVA, A Letter from the Abandoned Planet, which is basically a crossover of sorts between Galaxy Railways and Galaxy Express 39. And yeah, this is, like I said, this is the Hong Kong Blu-ray release that has English subtitles. It's crap, the video transfer is really bad, the English subtitles aren't Chinglish by any means, but they're not particularly great either. So yeah, I didn't end up even watching this, I just watched fan subs online in the end, and I've been looking to hopefully replace this one day, and all of a sudden, out of pretty much nowhere, it felt like Discotek granted that wish, and yeah, they've released it on DVD in English, official English release. They said they're going to do a Blu-ray down the road, but I wanted to get the DVD for now because this is from an era where it did come out on Blu-ray in Japan, but Japan are obviously not adverse to releasing stuff upscaled on Blu-ray either, so I wasn't sure if it's just going to end up being an upscale, and since this was only £8 to buy brand new on DVD, I decided, well, I'll get this for now. If the Blu-ray proves to be much better, I'll buy that as well. But yeah, I just wanted to own this because it's a really awesome OVA. So I love Galaxy Railways, which is basically a spin-off to the Galaxy Express stuff. That's the part it's most connected to. It follows a team called the Space Defense Force, I think they are, that basically they are the protectors of the Galaxy Railways. So yeah, the things that, you know, Galaxy Express and all the other trains that travel through space, they make sure that everything stays under control, and you know they help to combat like any terrorist attacks or anything like that on the trains and stuff. So anyway, in this 4-episode OVA, basically this weird like parallel dimension thing just appears in the middle of space. It's like got like trees and gardens and all this weird stuff. It's not even really a planet, it's just like this thing that just appears, and obviously that gets everyone a bit worried and a bit, you know, what the hell's that? Anyway, as that is occurring, the Galaxy Express 39 ends up getting kind of like brought into it somehow, and then that leads the Space Defense Force, so the team we follow from Galaxy Railways, a TV series, come in and basically help the Galaxy Express 39 out, and we get a cool 4-episode adventure. And the best part about this, of course, is that even though Galaxy Railways is a fantastic series on its own, getting the likes of Meteoro and the Conductor and the Galaxy Express 39 itself, and Tetsuro, I think. Tetsuro. I always get confused. Tetsuro, Toshiro. I think Toshiro is the Harlow one. So yeah, Tetsuro. Yeah, they're all in there. It's great. Like, it's so cool to have all that stuff. Especially, you know, I have a huge soft spot for the Conductor, so I love to seeing him. Yeah, I really liked it. It's good. It's good stuff. And yeah, I'm so happy that it's out. Like, Discotek, after all that Go Nagai stuff, which I appreciated as someone who wants to really get into that stuff, as someone who's already into the Leijiverse, getting these releases is like Christmas every single time I get one. I am so happy to have these. And again, we've got alternate artwork underneath, which is really cool. And yeah, the whole thing is on one disc, which is slightly not ideal. I mean, well, it's 102 minutes, so they're only like, I can't even do the maths today. Yeah, they're only like normal episodes, 25-minute episodes, so I guess that's okay actually. 4 episodes is fine on one disc. I couldn't remember how long the running time was, but I feel like if it goes over half an hour, then ideally you'd want 2 episodes per disc to get like the maximum bit rate out. But hey, I'm sure the fact this is on one disc made it cheaper, and it will look fine. So yeah, Galaxy Railways, Letter from the Abandoned Planet. Highly recommend that, although I would obviously suggest you watch Galaxy Railways first, like the original series that Funimation put out, and obviously have some familiarity with Galaxy Express as well. But it's really cool if you were a fan of both. Anyway, the last Discotek thing for this video, Dororo, the 1960s Tezuka series. I meant to pick this up ages ago. I was super hyped that they were going to be releasing this. This is a black and white anime, so yeah, this is one of the rarer occurrences in English anime releases. I think the only other ones that, well, the only major one that comes to mind obviously is Astro Boy. I think some like Gigantor like stuff came out like dub only, and I think also 8-Man stuff possibly came out on DVD as well. I know it came out on VHS and Laserdisc, but I think some of them might have come out on DVD as well. I believe there's a Prince Planet dubbed release out there somewhere as well. But anyway, this is a pretty rare occurrence because not only is this one a black and white anime, which is rare in itself obviously, but also this has actually got the Japanese. Like, this was never dubbed into English, so this is Japanese with English subtitles, which I'm pretty sure is definitely a first for a complete series at least, because I'm pretty sure some of the Astro Boy episodes were subtitled. Anyway, so yeah, what's this about? Like I said, it's based on Osamu Tezuka's manga, although this time there's a complete story, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's filler in that regard, but still, like, you get a complete story unlike the manga. Yeah, it's basically about this guy here who's always got a really Yakimaru, I'm going to go with. When he was born, his father basically... his father like cursed him in the sense that when he was born he was devoid of like 48 of his body parts, because that's what his father basically made a deal with the demons in order to gain power. And he was abandoned by his parents, his mother reluctantly so, but he was still abandoned by his parents, but he was able to survive. And this is basically a mission of him going around Japan and killing off these demons and regaining his body parts and possibly getting revenge in the end on his father. I don't know that for sure. I'm kind of just interpreting that from the plot. Seems like that'd be the likely closure to this. He's also joined by this young thief who's determined to steal his swords, and is basically the child-friendly character that kind of makes this series supposedly a kid's series, because yeah, it's pretty brutal. Anime Souls, the now defunct Anime Souls streaming service, whatever, crowdfunded the fan subs for the first 13 episodes of this, or the subsequent 10 episodes after that, because yeah, after they stopped doing like the DVD physical releases, they tried another campaign which was just to fans, well, I say fan sub, to subtitle a bunch of stuff and to stream it, you know. But they wanted crowdfunding for that as well, and the only one that was successful was Dororo, because on the strength of the first 3 episodes that I watched, well, I think the first 2 episodes I watched, yeah, this was a really good series, and obviously a lot of people felt the same way. It was my first exposure to it, and it might have been the same for others, I'm not sure, but yeah, that was the only one that was able to be successfully subtitled through crowdfunding or whatever. But after Anime Souls went under, they never did the second half of the series. After they went under, almost within a couple of days, Discotek came out and said, yeah, we're going to be putting out Dororo, so don't you worry. And that's really awesome, and here it is on DVD, and yeah, I meant to pick this up ages ago. I love the packaging for this, by the way. The slipcover is amazing with the blood on it and stuff, and just a black and white image. Although weirdly it does say colour on the back, you can probably see it there. Instead of black and white, which I'm pretty sure is just a mistake, but anyone who's buying this knows what they're buying, at least I hope so anyway. So yeah, Dororo, I'm looking forward to watching this one a lot, and I'm annoyed at myself, angry at myself that it took me this long to pick it up. But yeah, 4 discs, Dororo on DVD from Discotek. It also contains the pilot as well, so yeah, I think it's 27 episodes in total or something. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, Dororo. Anyway, so that's the Discotek stuff done. Next up, we've got a Sentai Filmworks DVD release. This one I've been wanting to get a hold of for a while. It's an OVA from the 90s that just sounded cool, like post-apocalyptic type series. And yeah, it just sounded cool, but it was kind of not necessarily that difficult to get, but it wasn't particularly cheap either, and the releases were very old and on DVD, and the covers for them, like the artwork, was pretty naff. But all of a sudden, kind of like pretty much out of nowhere, Sentai Filmworks rescued the OVA and put it out, and the artwork they did for it was amazing. So yeah, it was pretty much as soon as I could, I decided to pick this one up. I haven't watched it yet. I hope to do so obviously relatively soon. But yeah, Green Legend Ran. I'm going to go with Ran because that is how I always pronounce that when I'm thinking of something Japanese for that word anyway. but I might be wrong. But anyway, yeah, Green Legend Ran. But look at the artwork; it's so much nicer than the Pioneer version, because the Pioneer version was just like this bright green cover and just a really not. It looked like they kind of cut out the characters from a screenshot or something. It looked pretty bad. But anyway, yeah, this is way nicer. I love, obviously, the Sentai. The people who work on the Sentai Filmworks releases are amazing in terms of the packaging they do. But yeah, it's on 2 discs. It's a 3-episode OVA. I think each episode is about 50 minutes long or so. The first episode is on episode 1, and the subsequent 2 on disc 2. Okay, so next up, I took a journey to the stars, but not on a train led to Andromeda to get myself a mechanical body or anything like that. No, I took a journey to the stars with mecha. Yeah, so Gundam, something I really want to get into this year. But I was struggling about which avenue to go down in terms of collecting the series, because in the UK we're getting these art box sets, and they come with art books as well. They're pretty nice, and I had the first one for Gundam 79, but I've sold it because I just couldn't justify the space that they were going to take up. As much as I hope to really enjoy Gundam, despite my problems I had with it in the past, I've had some really positive experiences just recently with Thunderbolt and Origin, especially Origin. That was like watching Game of Thrones for me. It was amazing. I was that into it. I thought it was incredible. But yeah, I didn't want it to take up a ton of space on the shelf, and that's mainly the problem with the UK releases. They're coming out really slowly for one, but two, they're going to be really big sets. I mean, for goodness sake, like the Blu Ray trilogy of the movies that's coming out is in 3 separate Blu Ray cases for each movie and an art box, where the American release, I think, just comes in a single, pretty thin Blu Ray case. So yeah, for me, I just had to make that decision. I was like, I can't justify the space, and I'd much rather have this stuff on Region A anyway, because that's more convenient for me. Weirdly, I guess, but I've said it in the past, it's just more convenient for me. It's just how I've set my TV and Blu-ray player system up, is mainly for Region A. So anyway, so I sold my UK Blu-ray release and decided to set my eyes on collecting the Nozomi Entertainment Right Stuff Sunrise releases that are coming out in America. There's tons of it. They're pretty well priced, and they won't take up a bunch of space on the shelf, because I want to get all of it. I don't want to miss any of it. I plan to buy all of it. So I decided to start my Nozomi collection with something my Nozomi Gundam collection with something that isn't Nozomi at all. Mobile Suit Gundam 79 on DVD. These are the Anime Legends complete collection releases that came out just before they went under as a company back in 2011, 2012, something like that, I think it was. Anyway, yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam, the complete collection. Yeah, I bought the DVDs. Why did I do that, I hear you ask? The Blu-ray, which I have watched, I did watch the UK release I had. The Blu-ray is obviously DNR'd. That's digital noise reduction. It means that the film grain was essentially scrubbed out. This is something I've heard a lot of people say, well, in animation it's not really that big a deal. I would immediately point a finger at them and say you are wrong. For I will confess, or compromise, I guess, on the fact that one point I hear those people say will say, well, you don't lose that much detail, if any at all. And I would say, well, you don't lose that much, because anime and animation, especially from this era and stuff, is relatively simple. There's not a huge amount of detail. It's blocks of colour and stuff. There's some shading involved, but yeah, you don't lose a huge amount, but you do lose some. There's no denying that. It's impossible not to. But the main problem I have with it is that just like when you watch a DNR'd live action film, everything has this waxy, Vaseline, overly smooth look to it, and the movement of the film grain is still there, but you can't see the detail of said grain. So you've got this wobbly image that looks super unnatural, because like I said, you're seeing the film grain movement, which is completely natural, but you cannot see the detail of said grain, so the whole thing's got this, it looks horrible. I hate it. So yeah, I decided when have like clean slate with my Gundam collection, what version of Gundam 79 do I want, because it's the only one that Sunrise did this to. It's the only one they did the digital noise reduction for on Blu-ray. The rest have the grain intact and they look beautiful. So I knew that the Bandai release had it intact, the film grain intact, so this actually looks better than the Blu-ray in my opinion. So I've decided to go with these, especially since, despite the fact that Gundam obviously has been re-released, these are still relatively expensive, but I was fortunate enough to find these on the cheap here in the UK on a second-hand deal for just £20 for both, which is an absolute bargain, frankly. So yeah, I've picked up the Anime Legends versions, and these are different discs to the original volume releases, because those were 10 volumes and this is only 8 discs, so these are completely new discs as well, so they might look slightly better or worse because the bitrate will be obviously more hotly fought over since there's more episodes per disc. But anyway, yeah, I picked these up, but because I'm weak of mind, despite the fact I don't like the Blu-rays, I did also pick up Collection 1 on Blu-ray of the Nozomi Entertainment release, and I will obviously be picking up Collection 2 as well. There's a part of me that just wanted to own these on Blu-ray because they are out there on Blu-ray. Like I said, I got those DVD releases really cheap for 20 quid. It was like, that was only about 20% basically, or just over 20% of the price I got for my UK release, so it seemed worth it to me to put some of that money towards the Blu-rays being replaced as well. So yeah, got the UK release of Mobile Suit Gundam, sorry, the Blu-ray release of Mobile Suit Gundam on Blu-ray. Okay, so the final thing for this half of the February anime pickups is a bit of a weird one. This is something that a lot of you probably have never heard of. I'm willing to bet a few of you have, for sure, but a majority of you I suspect not. Anime Midstream are a company in America that have only currently put out one anime, and it took them a very long time to do it. They're currently in the works of putting out another series, BTX, both seasons of that, from the 90s, which is like a Saint Seiya type show. Anyway, yeah, their first anime that they put out is called Matchless Raijin-Oh, or where is it? Zettai Mutuke Raijin-Oh, and I wanted to start picking this up because I want to start supporting Anime Midstream, because I definitely want to buy their BTX series when those come out, however that series is pronounced. It's BT-X or something. But anyway, when those come out, I want to buy them, and I figured, well, I'd also like to have their original show that they put out, because this is never going to come out again, you know, no one else is going to release this show ever again, probably, so this is my chance to buy these, because probably once these volumes go out of print, that'll be it, you know. So this is the first 5 episodes. I also have volume 2 for the next 5 episodes. This is a 50 episode Sunrise series, giant robot series, not necessarily mecha, giant robot series from the early 90s that is mainly focused, it's mainly for like little kids, you know, kids are like young boys or girls, I guess, but yes, in the region of like ages 6 to 12, I guess, somewhere around there. Like, it's definitely a kids show, but it's a pretty good show. It's about this class that have basically a giant robot under their building. They all have these bracelets that they wear, and they go out on missions, sometimes to like help the environment, sometimes to help out friends, sometimes to fight off other monsters from this other realm that this guy, that villain guy, is from and stuff, or at least that's how I interpreted it. It's been a little while since I watched it, but yeah, and yeah, it's just a episodic giant robot versus monster per week show, and yeah, it's okay. It's okay, you know. Don't really know what else to say about it. There's an English dub, which is kind of weird. Anime Midstream, given how small they are, did actually attempt to do an English dub for this series, and they're apparently going to do one for BTX as well. The English dub only lasts for the first half of the series, which, like I said, it's a 50 episode series. They put it out across 5 volumes for the first 25 episodes, and like I said, those are all dubbed, and then they put out a second series box set for the remaining 25 or so episodes, which was sub only. Yeah, they had a lot of trouble getting this out, and this is an expensive show to buy, which is probably why it's still available even now, because these, for me anyway, were £20 each, which is an obscene amount of money to spend on this show, but I figured it's my one chance to get that, and once those go out of print, they're going to be impossible to find, so unless Anime Midstream do re-release it, but I really don't see that happening, so yeah, they're going to be impossible to find, so I decided to pick those up, and yeah, now I have them. So anyway, that's the first half of my February anime pickups. Not as short a video as I had hoped. I tried to do this a little bit quicker. Seems I failed. I talked about Gundam for probably a little bit longer than intended. And yeah, next up will be the second half of my February anime pickups, which is just over there to the side of me, and it's all Blu-rays, mostly modern stuff. There's like a couple of more classic shows in there, but yeah, all Blu-rays, so I look forward to that. I'm Blaze, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.